West African Development Foundation and All On have announced the official opening of the 2021 Nigeria Off-Grid Energy Challenge, which will provide up to $100,000 in blended finance per enterprise for successful applicants. To tell us more about this is the manager at All On, Sele Inebedion. Thank you very much, Sele, for joining us on the program. Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Great to be here.
Big figure there, $100,000.
So tell us briefly about All On and what you do.
Okay, so All On is an impact investment firm. We are seeded by Shell. We operate in the renewable energy space, in the off-grid energy space. So the businesses that we invest in are developers of technology solutions for the off-grid energy space, primarily rural and peri-urban areas. So our core business is impact investing. We also provide non-financial support to this ecosystem of businesses via the All On Hub, which I manage. We also receive support for that work from the Rockefeller Foundation.
Interesting. Energy access is arguably one of Africa's greatest challenges. How far do you feel we've come in solving this problem?
So we have about 90 million people in Nigeria that have no access to energy via the grid. Now, when you layer the 50 million people who get less than 4 hours per day of energy from the grid, you're talking about 70% of Nigeria's population that is suffering an energy access challenge. Now, to put in perspective, that 140 million people is the same as the entire population of South Africa, Kenya, and Ghana combined. Imagine if those three countries had no power at all. So now, when you think about it on a per capita basis, the 3.5 gigawatts of electricity that we produce on average in the country means really that the average Nigerian is getting 30 times less power than the average South African, or 8 times less power than the average Ghanaian. And that just gives you the scale, gives you a sense of the scale of the problem that we are facing. Access to energy is the lifeblood of any modern economy now, right? Mm-hmm. We use it to power our phones. It keeps us warm or cool. It powers the economy. So when you have 70% of your population that are deprived of that, then you're really talking about serious social, economic, and even security issues.
How do we close that gap?
So the good news now to that bad news is that it presents an opportunity, right, where we can now sort of integrate an off-grid power model alongside the on-grid power model. So you have two systems working together, which will enable private sector involvement to, come in and start to bring power to the average Nigerian. I'll say to that, that this is, we're seeing, what will happen. What will happen is that you'll have a situation now where Nigeria is able to do something which Africa, we've seen a lot of African economies doing well now for some time, which is to sort of bypass the evolutionary process where technology is leveraged to effect a sustainable economy. We've seen it with the telecoms space in Africa. We saw this as well with mobile money in Kenya, and we're seeing it today with fintech in Nigeria.
So tell us, what does this USADF All On Nigeria Off-Grid Energy Challenge all about? What does it entail?
So USADF and All On began the partnership in 2017 and launched the challenge, under that partnership in 2018. So it's been running for 3 years now. Essentially what we do is run a process where we give up to 10 or 20 applicants. And this year it'll be 20 successful applicants, $100,000 in blended finance. These companies will use the money to develop technologies that will deliver power to rural or underserved communities. It might be through solar home systems, solar energy systems, mini grids. It may even be businesses that provide a service that enable these technologies to be delivered.
or people coming up with new ideas?
Exactly, technology and innovation. So these are the sort of things that we'll be looking for.
So how long has this challenge been on?
So this is the fourth year now, the fourth cycle. So we started it in 2018. It was actually then a 3-year partnership with USADF, but given the success of the program, we have 24 businesses over the past 3 years now in our ecosystem. We've extended that partnership for another 2 years.
Yeah, so who is qualified to, apply? What's the application process? What qualifies one? Can an individual like me, apply? Or it has to be an enterprise or an organization?
Okay. So, so the simple answer to that is it has to be an organization. You have to be legally registered and incorporated in Nigeria. The company has to be 100% African owned, majority Nigerian owned. So we're really trying to promote businesses led by our people, that develop here. Businesses, like I said earlier, that develop the technologies or acquire those technologies as well to then deploy and deliver that solution.
Okay, so successful applicants will receive up to $50,000 in the form of convertible debt.
Yes.
And up to $50,000 in grant capital. Tell us more about this.
Okay, so we approached it with a blended finance structure because we believe that this stage in the life cycle of the businesses, we appreciate that they do require some grant component to help further their development. But then as well, we want to make the businesses more accountable and build a greater sense of responsibility to the commercial requirements of their business. They're building a business not just for this one-time project, but for the long term. And so the loan component there makes them accountable in that regard. So All-On provides the loan component, which is very, very favorable terms compared to commercial rates. And then the $50K in grants is provided by USADF and also in part by the All-On Hub.
All right, we know of course, the challenges we have here, getting access to power. You did mention that. So how do you hope to have this help solve this problem, the energy problem in Nigeria? I mean, for companies to come into be part of this challenge, how would that help to solve the problem of energy in Nigeria?
So I mean, we established that the scale of the problem is huge, but I think events over the last year, particularly with COVID and the lockdown and all the reactions, have heightened the importance of sustainable energy access. Right? We believe that bringing these businesses in and developing them, supporting them, they'll be able to support the grid infrastructure, which, to be fair, struggles today to reach far-flung communities. And so combining these two on-grid and off-grid systems, over time, it's a long road, but we'll get there. We're optimistic.
And how can companies access application?
So the application is on our website. You can access it through the portal. Our website is allon.com/the All-On Hub. But I should mention that there are dashes in between every word. So that's all-on.com/the-all-on-hub. Important, I should mention as well, that the deadline for the application has been running now for the past month. We have about 10 days to go. So the deadline is the 28th of February. It's a very extensive process, and the evaluation process itself is very, very strict. So it's important that businesses who are interested do start today and get that process going.
When is it supposed to end again?
The window closes on the 28th of February.
Of February?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we've seen the abandonment of many, off-grid power projects in Nigeria. Well, one would say basically it's for financing, and I'm sure part of what this challenge is seeking to solve is the issue of financing. But then aside from financing, what are the other challenges you see there in sustaining off-grid power generation in Nigeria, particularly in the rural communities?
So today, financing is arguably the biggest challenge, particularly when you consider that off-grid deployments require a large amount of capex. The lenders and the financing community today, we require patient investment capital such that, you're ready to see your returns over a much longer period of time. Then over time as well, we believe that the technologies themselves will start to come down in costs. A combination of these things, I believe, with investors starting to, the right investors, taking a more patient approach to the work in this sector, should start to see more improvements.
So what opportunities are there for IPP providers?
Sorry, say again?
What opportunities are there for the IPP providers?
Independent power
providers.
So, I mean, this is where I think essentially we talked about the integration with the discos over time. I think we're still some way away from that, but the government right now has taken a more proactive stance to work on the policies that enable all the stakeholders come to the table, whether it's the discos or the independent power providers, the off-grid sector, and looking at a structure or a framework that actually works for everyone.
So what is your medium to long-term outlook on off-grid energy in Nigeria?
We're bullish. We believe that off-grid and renewable is here to stay. There are economies in Europe that either are operating at least at 35% renewable energy contribution, or at least getting there in the near term. We are encouraged by the fact that the government has now taken its stance, with the Rural Electrification Agency and its initiative to power 5 million homes over the next few years. I mean, we strongly believe, looking at what's happening globally, that this is the model going forward.
All right. Thank you very much, Sele.
Sele.
Indeed. Thank you for having me. Sele, yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your time. We do appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
and
for having
have
me.
a great weekend.
Pleasure.